So hey guys, today we're going to build a deck, or perhaps just try to figure out if we can run Metalmorph as like a small engine, maybe. So Metal Illusionist is kind of an option. So if we specifically were to activate one for one, this would get there, right? Technically. So idea of one for one, pitching whatever monster, special summon Metal Illusionist, trigger Metal Illusionist, set a Metalmorph trap from your deck, and then we can activate um, this effect here. We can declare one other monster type, and then in this case we can declare like dragon or something. And then we can go effect of max Metalmorph, and then is this hard once per turn? Yeah, it is. So we can do effect of max metal, tribute this, and then we can bring out Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon, which has the effect of when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you negate the activation, then you inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of one attacked position monster your opponent controls. So we can just do this, I guess, right? And we just have a 3.4k guy that's also an Omni, which is not bad at all, and also Max Metalmorph will give it an additional 400 attack defense. It will not be destructible by spell or monster effects, and it also will not be targetable with monster effects or spell cards or effects, which is kind of useful-ish, maybe? We'll see. And how many of these would we want to run? Well, it depends how we're getting into our Metalmorph and stuff. So we'll adjust these ratios as necessary later, but yeah, we have that. And then we have Zoa, the Fiendish Beast, which isn't that great, right? This sets at Metalmorph, and then Metalmorph says that it special summons what? Summon one monster that cannot be normal summon slash set and mentions max Metalmorph. And this still be special summoned. Must first be special summoned with max Metalmorph. So this can be special summoned from the graveyard actually. Must be properly ish summoned with by max Metalmorph first. Is this only summoned from deck? And deck or graveyard. Oh, so we could technically pitch this and it would be fine. Huh, that's interesting. So maybe we can run two, but we'll see. And then the other target would be, let's see, maybe this? Metal Zoa, a fiend monster. So this is the most accessible one, right? You can reveal this card in your hand, yada yada, set, twice per turn, destroy. So this is the most easy to access one, but we'll give your opponent the special summon here off of Zoa the Fiendish Beast, which is interesting. There are hard ones returns on this as well. Alright. You can activate Metalmorph traps the turn they were set. Wait, what? You can only use each of the following effects of Red Eye's Metal Claws Dragon once per turn. You can send one face down card you control to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand, so it's any face down technically. If this card is no more special summoned and you have max Metalmorph in your field or graveyard, you can add one Metalmorph trap from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Well, if you have that, that's not that bad, right? And then there is the spell Incoming Machine. Add one monster that mentions max Metalmorph, or one Metalmorph trap from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So 2-card combo essentially, with basically, as far as I'm concerned, any of these cards can grab Metalmorph. And then all we need would be the Metal Claws Dragon, and then we'd be able to tribute this for the Red Eyes Black Metal. And we could technically do this before doing one of our other plays. I guess. Is there a second Metalmorph card that we might be interested in? That might do something for us. Flame Coating Metalmorph. Could be one face-up monster that mentions Metalmorph. And then this one is, send this card to the graveyard instead. It's protection. Rare Metalmorph. Eh, not that great either. And then Time Engine. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, that's any monster. Target one of those monsters, special summon it. Does that have to be by your opponent's card? Yeah, it does. Uh, if you special summon a level 5 or higher machine monster by this effect and have a Metalmorph trap in the field or graveyard except this card on the field, you can apply this effect. So this requires 2 Metalmorphs, essentially. Destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible and then inflict burn. Not really sure if that's good. Red Eyes Black Metal. Rebooting Red Eyes Black Dragon equipped with Metalmorph. Oh, if you were playing that, I guess that's why you would want this. Aside from that, I think just 2 copies of Max Metalmorph probably makes sense enough to me. And I just require a dragon, right? That's under the right circumstances, certain conditions. So the logic behind this is that you would probably want to run Bestials then, because Bestials make sense. If I open Lubellion, I could Banish as well. Does this special from Banish? Hand deck or graveyard? No. Okay. But we can shuffle back, potentially with Regained as well. Alright, idea. We'll probably run 2 then, just in case he's. But, we could go Tribute Lubellion technically, right? And that's fine. And Branded Regained is just nice to have. So something like this. And then we probably do want Beast. Beast is just good in general. You could run 2 Beasts if you're feeling extra spicy, I suppose. If we're running that, then we could run 1 more Druid's Worm or 1 more Serenator, I think. And then we're probably golden. It would be nice to have a level 4 tuner as well, though. Yeah. Alright. So idea here is that all of these bestials are high enough level to then be tributed for the Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon, which seems pretty reasonable. Depends how committed we are. I guess we'll just play 1 for consistency reasons, because we're already running a lot of other stuff. Max Metalmorph is fine. Metal Illusionist. Alright, I guess that should be fine. What next? We'll probably want a way to summon Dispatter. That sounds pretty reasonable. And the Bestials are like able to kind of loop themselves, which is nice. So we don't have to worry too much about that. I guess we'll just throw in some generics and kind of work our way from there. So SP, Ash Blossom, then Look by Imperm, I guess is fine. And this is what I would consider like the minimum package for hand traps. We could try to fit in like 3 more, but this should be sufficient for the time being. Because we are also running pistols, it's actually still fairly high in hand trap count. So what next? We would want an engine that could pop off, but if the engine would also allow us to get into the Metalmorph stuff, that would be extra glorious. So anything that allows us to just special summon Metal Illusionist would be not entirely bad. I can't think of a super good way to do this. If we want Selene, this requires us to use a spellcaster monster anyways. So I can't think of a combo that would do that. Wait, it requires a dragon, doesn't it? Well, I know a guy, actually. We could do this. So, Auxilla is actually a dragon. So, this would be an easy way to do this, I guess. Or we could go, like, I don't know, just finish setting this up. I don't want to bother fixing the ratios, but yeah, go this and just throw in everything because I just genuinely don't know. So, cool. 47 cards. Yeah, not great. Ratios would have to be reworked a bit. Red Eyes, Black Full Metal Dragon. I think we don't actually need to run two if we're running Centurion because we should be able to actually wait. No wait, we can't put the yeah no wait. We can put this back with Dispatter. Our opponent activates a card and then we shuffle back one of our own, yeah. So we would only need the one Red Eyes Black Full Metal then. Does this set from graveyard? Deck only. Okay. Bit awkward that this only sets from deck, specifically. The big guys, I suppose, probably all do this, right? Yeah. That in of itself is a bit awkward. Not 100% sure what to do with those, but general idea, I guess, would be to play Centurion, right? And that'd be fine. And then we could easily put in like Crimson Dragon, SP, and a bunch of generics here. And then we could also go like Crimson Dragon for Blazer. But is this what we really want to do? Nay, I think not. Alright. This is still a pretty good way to technically run this. You would have to like fix this, I guess. We could technically cut a lot of the Bestials down because we don't need as many because I was thinking of mostly using the Bestials with the Metalmorph stuff, but then you would need like lighter darks for the Bestials, and then that becomes like 3-card combo territory. If we don't need our normal zone either, we can normal zone Metal Illusionist, which is another reason why the Centurion cards might be good. So, let's look for one more way we could potentially play the Metalmorph cards, and then call it a day. Alright, let's see. If we're able to put down any dragons, right, then technically Tenpai could do it. So if I was playing this in Tenpai, how I would do it is I would abuse the Tenpai's ability to put 2 dragons onto the field, and whenever you're able to do so, you could get spheres, and spheres is then able to summon technically the Magnemite, and the Magnemite is going to be level 6, allowing us to attribute it for the or with the Max Metalmorph. So that would be fairly consistent. So it's essentially just anything that can put out a seals, right? If your deck can put out a seals, this should work. And you should be able to do this on the next turn. But on the first turn would be more preferred because it would then be able to insulate your combo from like hand traps and such. Which is certainly something to think about, I guess. Now that I think about it, this might be hard once return, but you could use these as well. So if I had, this is not very likely, but let's see. Wait, this is a normal trap. No, so it's not this one. This doesn't tribute, does it? Yeah, okay. Is this hard once per turn? Yeah, okay. So we could only activate 2 at best, but if I activate Max Metalmorph and Flame Coating Metalmorph, I could technically burn my opponent for 1,000 on everything they do by summoning 2 copies of Flame Swordsman if I had 2 level 5 or higher warrior monsters. I mean, I can't think of that many good cards to put on the field that kind of meet this condition, but we could do something with this, which is interesting. So, big indeed. I don't think these are that generically useful, though, are they? Wait, this is a machine. Oh. So that works with Time Engine. Okay. So that's the synergy. Okay, okay. Gotcha. So, yeah. A lot of stuff going on here. Alright. So this would be 3,800, which is pretty large and in charge, I guess. Pretty sure this is pretty outable too. Hmm. Well, if you were playing Fiendsmith, you could get this guy out pretty easily. Wait, all of the high level ones are machines. Oh, that's how it works. Okay. Then you have a pop effect on here that's pretty nasty since this is twice per turn. Hmm, intriguing. Well, we could play this as a burn deck and try playing it here when I get more of the cards, I suppose. I could technically craft the rest right now. It's just one UR, but I mean, I might pull it later, so let's not waste the dust for now. So I guess if you played this with Fiendsmith, I guess it would make sense because Fiendsmith also does a little bit of burning, which means it might get you to like a win con faster. But you only burn if you make Lacrima, and they're banning Beatrice, so there's no point in really making Lacrima anymore, unless you're making High Wave King Caesar, which is like, do we even want to make High Wave King Caesar? No idea. But yeah, that is to say I'm completely lost in the sauce right now. So yeah, if we have a way to, well, yeah, this is too complicated to think about for me, but ratios and stuff for this, and then being able to maybe send a set spell trap to maybe get illusionist draw, it gets even more complicated. Then like, do we even want the draw? Not 100% sure. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.